look at that. Have you seen something like this? The tower is burning that intense. We've seen this in London last time. Very, very tragic. Not so tragic this time. But Hong Kong, guys, this is burning in Hong Kong. And the pictures and videos that I'm about to show you will blow your mind. Hong Kong's General District. This is the area where this has happened just right now, basically. And it's one of the most tightly packed business hubs on earth. You can see how densely these towers stand next to each other. And I always find that it's kind of a miracle that it hasn't jumped to the other towers. We have banks, legal towers, we have glass, steel, narrow lanes that funnel wind like a bellows. And of course, if something's burning to that scale, that can end up to be very, very dangerous. Today, wind was feeding that fire that we're seeing here, that you see burning behind me. Late afternoon, black smoke began boiling skyward from the Chinachem Tower, 3437 Connaught Road Central. That's the address if you want to look it up, but I'll show it to you here as well. And by the way, hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is really wow. Wow in a negative way, right? To see something like this burning. So this isn't a residential high-rise, which is good. It's a 25-story commercial building. There's retail on the lower floors and there's offices above. So hopefully not that many people in there. And if the tower's lost, people didn't lose their private belongings, which I find is important. So that mix matters, not only for that, but it also matters for evacuation and for how the fire behaves on the outside of the structure. Did you know that? At about 4:24 p.m. local time in Hong Kong, emergency lines went on fire as well. People were calling like crazy. Reports of scaffolding alight at the rear lane of the tower were coming in. And 12 minutes later, the fire department escalated it to a number 3 alarm. So since we don't know what that means in Hong Kong, that is Hong Kong's way of saying that's a major incident in the city. And that automatically is unlocking big resources very, very fast. Crews hit the seat of the fire with 2 water jets, and 2 breathing apparatus teams pushed in under the smoke and heat. They went into that fire. So kudos to these brave men. And if from the street, I mean, you see the picture, it looked like the building itself was burning like crazy, right? But this, and that's interesting, was primarily an external scaffolding fire. It was racing up the facade in the wind. That's, by the way, I don't want to downplay this. This is a dangerous scenario because flame and embers can climb faster than interior sprinklers can help contain it. And then there's falling debris that is threatening rescuers and people below. There were a lot of people still standing very, very close to that fire. So that's why they launched drones above the street canyons to give incident command basically a live overview, and that is hugely helpful when lines of sight from the ground are terrible like they were. How big was the response that you see there? 184 firefighters and paramedics, 36 firefighting vehicles and 15 ambulances, basically a wall of red trucks in the core of central Hong Kong. Traffic snarled, of course. Cordons went up and the city's business heart skipped a beat, so to speak, as crowds were watching that massive smoke plume that was visible from both sides of Victoria Harbour. And inside the tower, this is my biggest nightmare. At least 4 people were trapped. And guess where? In an elevator. But thankfully they were being rescued, but mainly due to the fact, in my opinion, that it was the scaffolding that was burning and not the inside. 4 people were injured. It seems they were rescued, but they were injured. By the evening, the local outlets said all 4 were then hospitalized. So I assume they were injured, maybe smoke inhalation. Hopefully only that. One newspaper has reported that one of them is in critical condition. So we have to wait and see. Then later on, we've received the update that 2 are in critical condition. And you know, these numbers can really shift when the hospitals start to reassessing their patients. So we need to wait, but it's overall, it's not like a mass casualty event or anything like this. So many people are asking, well, did they bring aircraft or helicopters or something like this to fight this fire? No, because look at this. This is a dense urban canyon. Hong Kong does not waterbomb its high rises, and it's not really affected. So the firefighters in this case used ground-based jets and interior teams that were fighting the fire, while they had drones that basically handled the recon. There's absolutely no official record that mentions any water droppings or any water bombs, and none were visible. There's no footage available of that at all. So for more than 4 hours, these firefighters were fighting this fire, and crews were working into the night to fully knock it down, to chase hotspots in the scaffold and in the facade, and also to make the scene safe for investigators, because everyone wants to know, how did this start? So a 4-hour battle to contain it until it was declared out. So what I'm waiting for as authorities are starting to release more information? Of course, first, cause analysis. What lit that scaffold, and how has the wind profile affected the speed? And of course, we want to know about the patients, and we will have to wait and see, guys. I will keep you updated. I think you should subscribe so that we can see each other again. And if you want to support the channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee site, buymeacoffee.com/silky, because that channel here is not monetized. So check the link in the description of this channel, and subscribe here, and subscribe to my other channel where I report about natural disasters. We're a really nice group over there, but stay here. There's more to come on this channel very, very soon. Thanks for watching.